All right. What a shitty ending. No, Toby's face. Toby, you're on mute.
I was muted. I was like, says who? Says who? I was not ready to have to start the conversation.
We're gonna jump into it later. But let's start with.
Jeez, and it's like, what's he talking about? Because there's so many options this week of stuff to talk about.
Well, I felt like I was in an alternate universe for a second there when he said
so many things had shitty endings.
That's shit!
That's true. Unfortunately, not even shitty endings, but shitty twists. Are we going to talk about Black Widow today? We're talking about.
We're going to talk about Black Widow.
Of course.
But we'll get to it because But let's start with T-Pain. Let's start with our man T-Pain.
It was a beautiful, beautiful speech.
T-Pain,
this is what I preach.
He's preaching the truth, and people are getting mad at him.
Why are they getting mad?
Yeah.
Because it's really
the truth.
Like, this is exactly what he said. And you can recap what he said after I say this. But what he said is exactly the reason why I make my own stuff and really only listen to my own stuff. Because everything out there, outside of, like, if I'm doing research on, I have favorite artists that are outside of the mainstream. But saying that makes me sound like a hipster. But I don't listen to a lot of mainstream crap.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of stuff that's popular, I don't listen to. I like the stuff that's abstract out there. Anyway, what he's saying is what I've been saying for years. Is how do you think the people that are famous or popular now got there? They didn't do it by copying someone. They created the style or innovated on something that made people go, oh, that's different. Mm-hmm. So you coming in and going, I want to sound just like this guy, thus makes you not original. And chances are you won't have the same amount of stay as the original first three people that did it.
Yeah. So, I mean, T-Pain is saying what the Black Eyed Peas said before they sold out.
Wow.
They wrote a song called Get Original. Like,
that's crazy.
Like their whole song is about the fact that, like, yo, you're all doing the same thing, you're all making the same music, none of you are original, stop trying to copy everybody. And that's pretty much what the entire industry is that right now. The entire industry is just a bunch of people, and it's been like, and you know what, the thing is, I can't even say that it's he's pointing out something new. He's pointing out that's, like, even from pop music, from Britney, even from the Beatles and all the people, like, it's a cyclical, very boring system that the music industry has, where they just, once they find a formula that they like, they're just like, oh, you know what? We actually like this formula. We like how people are making music, how it sounds. So let's just make everything sound the exact same.
It's exactly why it's a machine, right? They go out there and they look for people who are exactly or can be molded into something they can quickly sell. They don't care about the talent you have.
No.
If I'm, as an artist, I'm different and I'm willing to sort of, like you said, Black Eyed Peas, sell out.
Yeah.
They will put the machine behind me as long as I do exactly. Lil Nas X.
Yeah.
Right? You also have industry plants as well.
I feel like he's more of a plant. I feel like he's more of a plant.
Why does everyone think he's a plant?
I don't think he's a plant. He's not a plant. Not the way it happened.
I had a conversation with one of my friends. She's living in Asia, and she messaged me at like 11 p.m. one night being like, okay, level with me, because you know this stuff. Is Lil Nas X a plant? And I was just like, why do you say that? And she starts listing off all these reasons, and I'm just like, everything you're describing sounds like the machine just using people the way it uses people. Like, as soon as you release something that catches a little bit of heat, the industry is there blowing at the bottom of the flame, hoping that spark turns into a roaring fire. That's what they do. That's the whole industry.
I think more or less what people are saying in terms of him being a plant is that, like, he was signed a long time ago and they were just working him until he got something that popped.
Was he signed a long time before Old Town Road?
I don't think so. I think Old Town Road was just a TikTok, whatever hit. And then from there, he got reached out to and bought into the system that's turned him into what he is now. Like, he falls into that other bucket. But we can talk about an industry plant like a Lil Pump.
I
someone like that to me is an industry plant that, and the definition is, the common definition is someone who's like, who says they're homegrown and a startup and indie, but they're actually backed by like a major label in the background somewhere.
There's
you know
a lot of those indie labels that are
Yeah.
secretly actually owned by majors.
Exactly.
And I remember I figured that out when I worked at the radio station, because I would get stuff and I would look at this label and I'd be like, wait, what label is this?
Right? It's just a made up label.
Yeah, and then you start looking into the who owns what, and you start doing a little bit of research, and next thing you know, you're just like, oh, you're owned by Sony, and you're owned by Universal,
like Post Malone before White Iverson. What have you heard?
Well, but then exactly, you could say
White Iverson was huge, but that's what I'm saying. But Old Town Road doesn't fall into that category, right? It doesn't, because Old Town Road was a song that he and someone else made. He wasn't signed also before that, by the way.
I didn't do much. I don't know.
Trinidad James, like people who come out with a smash hit like that.
James was an industry plant. G-Eazy though.
Ooh. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know, but it could be. Like
it could be.
It could be. It could be. People have accused Chance the Rapper too, and I feel like if we're gonna accuse him of being an industry plant, and
everybody.
Right? So him, I would probably leave off. G-Eazy, him, I might leave off that. But there's some that are just that I love Makonnen guy. Club going up.
Makonnen, yeah.
On a Tuesday.
Nah, he was signed, just dropped real quick.
yeah. Because again, a lot of them end up, that's what T-Pain was saying. A lot of you end up as one-hit wonders.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of you end up as one album wonders because it's not your skills and your talent. They're just giving you they're just feeding you. And once they feel like you're not going to sell anymore, you're out the door.
They move on. Well, and then did you guys see his other video where he talked about the surprise releases?
Of course.
And then he broke down how you can't do the surprise release because it takes like 3 weeks for your stuff to get on Spotify. So how are you saying on Monday that you are dropping a surprise album and then it's on the featured artist segment on Friday on Spotify and on playlist? If it takes like 3 weeks for everything to be done, and how are you going to say you're dropping an album on Friday, surprise album Friday, but you have a trailer for it on Tuesday?
Right?
Yo, really fast production teams. When you have that kind of money, bro, anything could happen.
I mean, yeah, but how you really think they're gonna work 24/7 to get that trailer up the next day because X says I want to drop an album on Friday? I mean, they know that's in the works. They have people working stuff.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think they could have connects all they want at Spotify and all the streaming platforms, but I think they have a process for a reason, right? I don't think anyone bypasses that process.
So we'll tell you right now, everything in the music industry, everything in the entertainment industry is fake. All of it. I'm not just we're like T-Pain wasn't pulling away the Oz curtain. This is just something that I feel like most people hopefully are starting to realize by now. The industry is fake. All the surprise stuff, all the social media, all that stuff is controlled. There are people making plays. Independent artists are actually independent. They are doing their independent work. They're working hard. They're grinding. You know, like Tech9 was not ever supported by anyone. You know what I mean? Like that's an example of, you know, the guys at Rhymestayer weren't really supported by anyone. You know, like those are examples of people who did legit on their own touring, getting people to their shows, getting that little bubble. Like I said, they took that whole thing of like the little flame and they blew on the bottom of their fire themselves, as opposed to getting the industry. I guess the better example of what I was saying before is the little spark you have. The industry machines that buy you up are pouring gasoline on the fire in hopes that it turns into a roaring fire.
100%. And if it doesn't, again, if you're not original, like they can't take your originality from you. That's the biggest point of this. If you're original enough and you're confident in your stuff, I made this is my sound, you could continue duplicate it because it's your sound.
Yeah.
And no one can take that from you until people try to copy you, but then people know where the sound originally came from. You get it? Like that's what he's trying to say. It's possible to be different from what's out there right now. The problem isn't, it's crazy. It's the industry, right? They've made it so easy for anyone that they pick to, you know, it's
like big emphasis on they pick. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Because hey, I'm a superstar 9 years over, nigga. And hold on. Actually, you and us both.
Yeah. What Lord? She came out with the song Royals. What did you hear from her before?
Yeah.
Right? That's an industry plan.
She was discovered at a talent show in her hometown
when she was like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they bring her out at the 16-year-old who's from the slums and what's the come on.
What was that chick from Toronto there who blew up too?
Which one?
You know what I'm talking about. The girl with the song. She has really good voice. Come on.
Not Keisha Shante.
Not Keisha Shante. No, the more folky one.
Folky.
Feist?
Not Feist. She
like Liza?
No, young kind of mixed black girl. Kind of black girl? I would say just mixed.
Fifi Dobson?
Okay, no, hold on. You guys keep... It was like 2 years ago.
I like how we both.
The girl talking about in her song where she likes to be like the quiet one at the party. Why she's there? She's
Alicia Cara.
Bongo, thank you.
Maybe, possibly. I
don't think she's an industry plant. I think
Shawn Mendes is an industry plant.
100%.
But you know what, Alicia Cara, I think her thing is that they use a cheat code for her first song because they use a really, really popular Isaac Hayes sample.
Oh, right. Yeah. See, that's another way of blowing up too, though. Stuff. Like is using a sample, just the right sample.
But that's how you know they're a plant because how is she affording
clear it?
Facts.
Ooh,
no,
that's
you can't clear Isaac Hayes when you're nobody.
That's deep.
You're right.
That's
I was just about to say,
please, they'll kill you.
Right.
They'll get.
Like, how do you get an Isaac Hayes sample on your first song ever?
As your single.
We should do a series on industry plants and just do our own research. And just try to, I feel like we could uncover so much if we just focused on trying to go back to the beginning and the roots. Because, like, the thing is, artists like Kendrick Lamar, I remember when Kendrick Lamar first started out because I was at one of his first concerts in Toronto and New York, right? I remember how I remember he worked hard for
You went to SOBs?
Right? Yes, in New York.
Wow.
Yeah. But funny enough, Schoolboy was my favorite artist in the crew. And I couldn't get to see him because he wasn't on the New York leg and he wasn't allowed in Canada in the Toronto one where he was supposed to actually be. Damn. So that sucked for me to not see. But I saw Absol, I saw everybody else. It was crazy. So I think this would be a fun like side podcast or something to do, mini series on industry plants and then just post it on YouTube, you know, and like it's just our opinion anyway too, right?
The Whippinania guy, Starlito, he's definitely an industry plant.
Right? Like, how do you... Yeah.
Because Whippinania came, big-ass song one summer, gone. Now he's being charged for possibly, like, assaulting somebody.
That's crazy.
I didn't even want to bring it up, but, man, these Disney kids and Nickelodeon kids are getting charged with some crazy shit on these streets. I don't know if you guys heard.
Well, they're kids.
Yeah, no, but not even just the kids, the graduated ones, like the Drake Bell and the Corey and the House kid.
What Drake Bell do?
Right. What would they've been caught with minors.
Yeah.
Or both texting, not necessarily caught with, but like messaging, lewd, probably lewd photos.
Oh no, Drake was with someone. The girl full on said like I was in his hotel room. He had me perform fellatio on him.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah.
Not you, Drake Bell.
Drake Bell's out of here, man. And
then Kyle Massey was the one that surprised me the most, to be honest.
Let me look up Kyle Massey.
But who's the one that was robbing people? One of the Massey brothers like was robbing people. Some crazy story.
Oh, Kyle Massey.
He's the one with the immoral communication. It was Kyle Massey.
Yes, but didn't the Massey brothers both jump somebody? There's some other wild story with them where they did some crazy shit, and I was just like, "Good Lord, what happened after your sitcom ended?"
Dang,
this is
Christopher Massey and Kyle Massey.
Yeah. One of them was a Nickelodeon kid, the other one was a Disney kid.
Jeez.
Dang,
you got both your kids as industry kids. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. I was just listening to Jeanette McCurdy, the girl who was on iCarly, talk about, and she did an episode with the kid from the Indian kid from the show Jessie. These are all Disney shows, so if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry. That's fine. But the little Indian kid that ran around and was doing the Apu accent on all these damn Disney shows for years and years, and he's now 21 and he hates the fact that he had to do that shit.
I was like, isn't Cameron Boyce dead? I know he passed away, but
so Cameron Boyce was his brother on the show Jessie.
Okay.
The
The
brown
other kid. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kid and Jeanette McCurdy did an episode of Empty Inside, which is Jeanette's podcast, which I had never heard. And the only reason I looked it up is because I heard someone else talking about how she had a one-woman show called I'm Glad My Mom's Dead. And I'm like, wait, what? So I started looking up because I was like, yo, how do you tour a one-woman show called I'm Glad My Mom's Dead or I'm Glad My Mom Died? And I was just like, I need to find out more. And then you start seeing all this stuff about why why she's not in acting anymore and all this stuff. And she did an episode with that dude. And they both talked about being child actors in that episode. And I will never understand how these parents put their kids into this stuff. Cause that stuff sounds yeah, exactly. So you just did the
Money.
Yeah. Either your kids genuinely want to do it and you have to try and control their passion because it can run rampant and they'll be willing to do anything to succeed, or you're the parent like Macaulay Culkin's parents, like Jeanette McCurdy's parents. You are full on taking advantage of your child. Your child is screen worthy and has the right look, quote unquote, and you are just abusing the shit out of that and trying to make as much money.
I guess there are very few of them that have like good parents, right? That just don't care about the money as much as like their kid being happy and controlling their environment and stuff. They
can't all be Hermione's small parents.
Damn, yeah, that's true. I'm worried about Millie Bobby Brown too.
Oh, she's done.
Yeah, she's starting to get caught up in some crap. She was dating some dude who was way older than her.
She dates
just recently, and he just like went on some show or some podcast and was saying some wild stuff, man.
Oh snap!
Like something like wild. I don't even want to repeat it, but look it up. Like I think it's on the news right now. It's crazy.
I mean, I feel like our generation, Drew Barrymore pretty much tried to tell us all very, very early on, like, you're a child put in an adult world and you're told to fend for yourself because your parents can only do so much.
Yo, you grow up fast for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's the thing. Jeanette McCurdy was saying you grow up on TV, but you don't emotionally grow.
Yeah, you don't.
Like she was saying she was stumped. Like she said, people would see her and she plays this really tough character on iCarly. And then she'd be out in the streets and people would come up and try and take a picture with her. And they expected her to be like her character. Similar to what I was saying about Rainn Wilson last week. Mm-hmm. You come up to them expecting them to be like their characters. And in her case, she would say people would get so upset when she was timid and like, because inside she said, I felt like I was a 10-year-old. I wasn't
What's crazy
this tough
a lot of actors are introverted, guys. Like, it takes a special kind of mind to be able to just lose yourself within yourselves. And introverts have that special, like that ability to do that, where you can just like be within yourself for a while. And it's a hard job, man. People need to be able to breathe outside their characters. I don't know if you blame the actor, you blame the people who watch, you blame everyone. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe the word's not blame. Maybe it's just because I'm not gonna. If you play Carlton Banks for 6 years and that's the only thing I know you as, when I see you and I expect you to be like Carlton Banks, you can't be mad at me and I can't be mad at you, right? Like I have this expectation because I only know you through a screen. You have an expectation of some kind of privacy, some kind of semblance of life. But
you know what's crazy about it? And here's a difference in like being a celebrity, like an actor, or versus a musician or an athlete, is like nobody goes on the street and see an athlete and go, here, dribble this basketball first.
Yeah. I mean,
you walk up to a basketball player like, yo, man, where's your ball? Did you lose it?
I mean, if you see them on a court, though,
that's fine. They're already there.
Yeah,
if they're on a court somewhere and they're playing,
if you're in the environment, that doesn't count.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny though. That's like when I met the Olympian figure skater Browning. It's like, imagine I just toss a pair of skates. I'm like, Axel, bitch.
Oh man,
I think it's actors. They expect more that for people to realize that, like, it is a show, it is an act. But people just get so lost with the fandom of that they have that they want. When you see, like, can you just be that person? It's
interesting. I don't know. At a certain point, I don't even think it's because of how well the person is acting. It's just there's something about them being on a screen that we've just found a way to like idolize now. As long as someone's popular on this screen,
I think that's just the concept of good storytelling and having good characters, and just wishing that those characters really existed. If anything, I would describe that more as envy upon us that we wish these people existed.
Yeah, we just got Mr. Lane posted this comment. Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan, the Olsen twins. It's facts.
Yeah.
It's the like when you think back to all of these young actors and everything that they face, and
Demi Lovato.
Yeah. They feel
talk about ups and downs.
They felt dude. I remember watching Sunny with a Chance when they were younger, and they were like, and then the show getting canceled because I think Demi had to bounce, and then they continued the show as a sketch comedy show, separate without Demi, and I was just like, that is interesting. That the machine is like, oh, we lost a star, keep going, keep. It's like a car that's lost a wheel on the road, and you're just like, don't worry, keep rolling, we'll figure it out.
At that point, honestly, in the year 2000s, I think the industry they had it all. They had the playbook down. After all these years of practice, the early 2000s, the late 90s till like now, it was just all right. Let's unleash everything we've learned onto the world.
And then Netflix came. I would say you can definitely tell when the industry, because that's true. Like if you take into consideration sitcoms like Seinfeld, Friends, if you take into consideration all the dramas, the Law and Orders and all that stuff,
all the boy bands, all the girl bands, everything was
a machine, and it was the peak of everything. In the 2000s, you're looking at the peak of quote unquote television, and then Netflix comes along and Spotify starts to exist, and everyone's just like, wait, what are these aberrations in the Matrix?
Took the industry a few years to readjust, but I think they've readjusted.
I remember going to CMJ in New York when they had money the first year, and like porn stars and rock stars are at CMJ. Tara Patrick and her husband, from the dude from Oz, and people are just running around. I'm going to concerts all over. We're hopping in and out of cabs to see shows. I met the Clips. Somebody saw Snoop. All this crazy shit's happening. We're just hanging out. I met Pharoah Monch. I'm just at these shows, and we're just like, yo, what is hip hop? We're like blowing up. We're so excited. Last CMJ I went to, we're just like in a little hall in a hotel, sitting down on little couches.
What does CMJ stand for?
College Music Journal.
Is that like a music festival?
It was a conference. Yeah, it was a music festival in New York.
Okay, cool.
And it like college radio. And dude, it was. I mean, don't get me wrong. From the first one to the last one, I had fun every year because it wasn't the festival that was the best part. Those were amazing added bonuses, but it was just being in New York for a week. Right. Going to free shows and hanging out with your friends from all over North America who are also visiting, Yeah,
that's dope.
That was just the fun part. But then I'm not gonna lie, like getting that limited edition, which I can never find it, but that like special Clips bandana that they handed out at the show, at their first show, which was like in this small room, and I was like the room was maybe as big as the room, like 3 of the rooms I'm in. It was a long room with a little stage, and we're all and it's like the stage is like right up in front of me, and Malice is on a speaker, and I'm like, my hand is like just about to high five him. I'm like, this is crazy.
That's dope. Yeah, I miss. I don't know if those kinds of concerts. I mean, they do, but the music I just don't care to travel for it. The music that's performing in those small places.
Well, I mean, again, I was going to that. We got the free passes, so it's like you just have to get yourself to New York.
But what I'm saying is, regardless of the free pass, if you had the means of going, you would go, right? Because you were interested in that music and the scene and stuff, right? Just a lot of the scenes today in hip hop, especially, I'm almost done with it. You know what I mean? I'm starting to get into other like music genres now a little bit more. It's look at this. Kenton said, I once saw Newman and did the Seinfeld phrase, and he got so angry.
Yeah,
well, I mean, that's exactly what we're talking about.
Right on for you, though. I would have so done the same.
We got to be able to control ourselves when we see these people out in public and just try to get to know them as hey, you did an amazing job on this show. Like, how's your day going? Like an actual conversation. If you want to address the show, you can. But don't treat me like I'm like your like dance monkey.
No, but that's it.
It's like
So similar. I met Jeff Daniels from Dumb and Dumber
right.
outside, and I think I've told this story before. Met him outside of New Era Cap Store in New York. That one at one of the CMJs, and I'm just like, oh hey, I'm like, and he like had his head down and he's walking quietly down the street, and I'm like, Mr. Daniels, it is a real pleasure to meet you. I hope I'm not embarrassing you or anything. And he was just like, no, it's okay. I'm just like, it's really cool to meet you. I'm just like, and he's like, we're still like walking today. I'm like, would it be okay if we took a picture? And he's just like, no, thank you. And then he keeps walking, and I'm like, that's okay. And then there was like a pause because I actually did have to walk the same direction as him. So now he's walking that way, and I had to like cross the street and wait as he got like a block away.
So you could wipe the single tear that went down your face.
No,
And you said no.
It's more because I didn't want him to think I was following him, and I couldn't walk faster than him because homeboy started shuffling. Like as soon as I asked, it was like, I'm not interested. Speed walking. So I was just like, uh-oh.
Yeah, there is that, like, think about it. Like I think I felt the same. I've been in the same proximity as many celebrities, and I've never asked for a photo or anything. Just like a hi and a quick like acknowledgement. They say thank you and they go, because I feel awkward, like asking for a, you know what I mean? I just do. So I get why they would feel awkward. People constantly coming up to them. It is part of the job. It's when you sign on that dotted line. It comes with the life.
The trick with the famous people is that. Go ahead. Sorry.
I said, but you could choose what level of celebrity you are too, right? Like a lot of people go on and continue, and to this level that's insane, and some people you'll notice just kind of, after the first two big ones, they start doing more indie stuff and still makes them money, but they stay a bit more out of the limelight, right?
Or they dip completely. Look at Macklemore,
Asher Roth. Is it all the right ones?
Asher Roth, listen.
No, I think they're still making music.
Well, no, Asher Roth is actually making music. He was working with Knots a lot.
Yeah.
But because his whole story was, because I actually saw him once explaining it somewhere, and his whole story was that he didn't want to be Eminem, and they kept trying to compare him to Eminem, and the label kept pushing him to play up that he was like Eminem, and he's just like, this is not what I want to do. But he'd gotten the deal, so he did all that college backpacker stuff, and then he even had a song called Like M or something. And then after that was done, he was just like, I don't want to do this. So he ducked. He kind of just disappeared. Didn't really work hard to promote the album. The album didn't do as well. The label got tired of it, and they were just like, oh, we don't really want this dude. And he was like, perfect. And then his next album is just like all jazz samples. And then he has
like what he actually wants to do.
Yeah.
See, that's what.
And then him working with Knots was like actually really good. Reading Rainbow sample on something, like they did some really random shit, and you're like, oh, okay, this is what he was all about this whole time. Cool.
That's exactly it.
That comment that I just saw. I'm not acknowledging that one about Drake. I'm just gonna ignore that.
I laugh. Good on you.
You know what? Yeah.
Good on you.
Are we gonna make Drake?
Dave,
no.
You guys know I agree
I'm
with
just
that
doing
comment.
it to piss people off.
We're split on this. Toby and I are one side, Brian, and it's perfect how it lined up.
The thing is,
Brian, yes.
Okay, hold on.
Brian,
Time out.
You take him to the cleaners. You tell
them
what for, Brian.
Let's address this goddamn thing. Now that we're here.
All right.
Rap beef.
Keep us split on this one. All right. So Peggy, for those listening, said Drake killed hip hop. If by killed you mean he murdered that shit, yes, he definitely did. But he's not a plant. 100% not a plant, because we remember how Drake started.
Our boy,
in the music scene.
Yeah,
I won't say he's a plant.
He started as a plant for sure in the industry in general. He started on TV and made his way over.
Yes.
No.
Designed to make you love him.
No.
I understand what Dave's saying. I agree he's not a plant, but as I've always said, he had a base of following that gave him the clout to be able to make moves.
Yo, Jimmy had no fans, bro.
Dude, every time we have this conversation, I give you the same facts. That's just how we had the conversation
Jimmy
last time.
Had no fans. Matter of fact, he got made fun of for being on Degrassi and trying to rap.
There's
you don't think he wanted to wipe away the memories of Degrassi people?
There's no such
the
thing
TV
as
industry.
That's
exactly
why no such thing as bad press.
The Canadian TV industry was
not Canadian.
Not connected
The
to.
show was on syndication across America.
Yes,
300 million Americans have access to basic cable, and the show was aired on the CW.
But if you did do
Just
a deep dive into some, like I said, we should do a freaking segment on
There's a reason
industry
why
plans.
his first mixtape was with Nicholas F., who is a hardcore rapper that to improve his image to move away from Jimmy. If he was just riding off the Drake, he would do it by himself.
But okay,
and there was so many different variations of Drake from the beginning till now.
Yes,
like he evolved as an artist, except he had a choice: continue hardcore rapping or make money and rap about everything else, but using his own skills and talents initially. Now, not to say today he doesn't have the help, whether it's a writer or people helping him put together songs and structures.
Well, I mean,
for
he's
sure,
always had writers.
Huh?
He's always had writers. I'm not trying to discredit him. I'm just saying, why are we going to act like he got writers later? He always had writers.
This kind of hits it a little bit because these are right. These are facts.
But it doesn't make him a plant.
It doesn't make him a plant. No,
I wish if I had someone in. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna read it. Read it.
You have to read it because you're arguing against something that no one who's listening.
Okay, so again, his uncle is one of the greatest bass players ever. He had Music Connects. He had the cheat codes and surpassed what the Larry Graham lineage stimulus package could ever provide. Oh, I see. Listen. I wish I had someone in my friggin' family who was connected to the music industry so I can go, hey, listen to this.
Yeah, I'd use that.
Can you help me get better?
Yes.
But it doesn't, he didn't start out with the machine going, you come here, let's push you.
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying he started as a child actor. He got comfortable with being in front of people. He had stage presence. He had all the qualities that could make him a star. You combine that with the connections with the family. You combine that with just general talent. Don't get me wrong, talented. But all of those factors feed into the fact that he had a leg up in the industry. Because just like you guys just said, something we said earlier, the industry picks you. He had all the makings of someone the industry would want to pick. They don't have to work as hard to give you the skills to do the things they need to do to sell. You already have half of those. You already have a lot of the cheat code. You already have a small following. And don't get me, and let's not pretend like whether or not he rapped with Nick and did whatever, everyone would have wanted to see if Jimmy in the wheelchair could actually rap.
But
because the first time, no, I'm not saying he killed hip hop. Okay. I'm saying him and a whole bunch of people did a whole bunch of weird things to hip hop in a dark room that we should be creeped out about. But whatever they did to it, where they made it this R&B thing where half of you aren't even rapping, you're just singing over melodies and pretending it's a rap song on a rap album. That's a whole other conversation. Thank you, Skinny. Because Skinny made that face knowing I'm not wrong.
No, Skinny, he made that face not agreeing with you. He made that face not really agreeing with you.
A bit of both.
Thank you, Skinny.
Very popular.
A bit of
There's
both.
no thank you.
As soon as I said it, I saw Skinny's face and I was like, he's like, I don't like that he's saying it, but I understand what he's saying. That's all I needed. You understood what I was trying to say.
I understand it, but I do believe that hip hop evolves. Like,
sure.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a time where they're talking like this and talking about that,
right?
So how is it not
to the Ja Rule, to the 50 Cent? They were already implementing melody
when Country Grammar came out.
They were already implementing melodies. Someone comes in and does it better than everybody else has ever done it.
They've all been doing a version of what someone else before them did. Yes.
But after Drake, everyone started copying Drake.
Well, I'm not going to say Sway Lee copied Drake. I would say Sway Lee was doing what Sway Lee was going to do. You don't have a song like the Black Beatles and you're like that kid obviously was listening to rock. If you listen to Sway Lee's influences now, you can tell Sway Lee didn't actually want to do rap as much, but was more of the Post Malone line where it's just like, I kind of like this rock stuff, but hip hop is where I can make my mark. So I'll go through this route. I'm going to take this detour on the lake shore and still get to the West Island.
Look at you for your deep dives, huh? I mean, hey,
every time Drake comes up, we have this discussion. I'm not saying Drake is a bad rapper. I'm not saying Drake is ruining hip hop. I'm just saying if we act like Drake is a god, we're never going to acknowledge the fact that
no one said Drake is a god. But I'm tired of people saying he killed. I'm tired of people saying Drake killed hip hop. He didn't.
I'll say this.
Hip hop's not dead.
Yeah, I'll say this.
By any stretch of the imagination. Matter of fact, people may eventually get tired of this kind of hip hop, and 10 years from now, there'll be something different, as it always is.
I feel like people are tired of this type of hip hop already.
Well, many things have emerged from
remember
Drake,
how
actually.
bad when mumble rap first started? People hated it, but people loved it at the same time. It's not the same now. Even that has evolved.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's no longer mumbly.
Yeah,
but it's still very auto-tuney.
I think that's what helped it. Oh, they're not mumbling as much. We actually can understand what they're saying.
And I will even say that Drake, not so much inspired, but because of Drake's lane and where he was going, that influenced the A$AP Rockies and the Joey Badasses and the Flatbush Zombies and all that New York comeback that's really gritty. I mean, come on.
As a reaction, you mean?
Yeah, as a reaction and a nod too, because you won't find sprinkles of him in them, but you see that they do acknowledge what he's done for it, and then they just kind of
100% do their own thing. Kendrick started out doing the same, and then Kendrick said, "Doing my own thing." J. Cole doing my own thing.
Yeah,
but
I don't think Kendrick and J. Cole were influenced by Drake.
They still rub the coat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love the coat.
I feel
J. Cole toured with Drake. Kendrick was on Poetic Justice with Drake.
Yeah, that's more to me a reference to the fact that he's what's popping. The industry wants me to work with him. Yeah, but guys, it's a comment on the industry. Again, that's the whole industry's face. We just said the industry.
In the terms in the space of Drake, I would feel like the industry picks them.
Dave, why do you keep coming in and out of the conversation?
Why would Drake have that much power that he gets to pick them? Everything is fake.
You just spoke about his cheat codes and who his family and his lineage.
And Dr. Dre probably noticed Drake and was just like, Kendrick, go do a song with this kid so I can.
No. Dr. Dre had no say in that.
He had no say in that.
Sure.
More or less top, but I mean.
Also, before Drake was an actual rapper, he was brought to write for Jay-Z. Sorry, my bad. He was brought to write for Dr. Dre in the camp. You know how they sign up a bunch of writers and come write for put you up in a hotel for a week in Rice camp. Yeah. Drake was a writer for Dre. He actually was brought over to write for Dre.
Which is why I was saying they've had a previous relationship and Kendrick was brought over because Dre already knew about Drake. You actually just connected that.
Dre and Kendrick. Kendrick is not signed to Dre.
He signed to Top Dog.
I didn't say he was signed, guys. I did. Did you guys?
I listened. I heard you. I know what you said, but anyway.
I just said that Dre, as the West Coast Don, tapped Kendrick and said, "This is the next kid," and had
it wasn't. It was Drake was already the kid when that shit happened.
I'm talking Kendrick. There's an album cover with him literally having his hand on Kendrick's shoulder as this is the next generation.
Album cover or magazine cover?
Magazine cover.
Okay, Double XL probably. That was bought.
Sure, because the industry's fake. That's the whole point.
We're not arguing whether the industry's fake or not. That's not the point, because we will agree with you and talk about how fake it is. We're talking about how Drake and hip hop are not synonymous with murder.
No,
in that sense.
And Drake and hip hop are not synonymous with goats.
Hold on. Okay, we can't do that today.
Come on, man.
I'm not saying Drake is the greatest of all time.
He's not the greatest of all time.
Okay, so why?
He's not the greatest at what?
Yeah, at what?
What are we saying here? The greatest lyricist of all time? No. The greatest hip hop artist of all time?
As a
no.
hip-hop fan, are you really asking me to explain GOAT to you?
I'm not asking you to explain GOAT. I'm not asking you to explain GOAT. If we're talking in terms of rap, he is not the GOAT, because in rap we always talk time out, man. Let me but hold on.
Why are you repeating what I just said? Okay. He's not synonymous with GOAT, and then you guys made
GOAT of what?
Oh my god.
He is not just a rapper, though. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, sure. I'll clarify. Drake as a hip hop artist is not synonymous with GOAT. Is that fair?
I'm gonna look up synonymous.
All right, we could. I'm gonna look
up synonymous. That's the title.
Oh my God. Oh shit, that's funny.
Name or nearly the same
that
meaning
is-
as another word. No, okay, no.
If there was ever a better way to cut the tension in the room, that was it right there.
Oh,
Holy shit, that's
I'm that
funny.
guy, man. That's why I'm here.
Oh man! All right,
I
I don't know where we're at anymore, but
I
we'll
got-
leave it
I
at
got-
this until the next time we talk about Drake killing hip hop.
every time.
Oh
I
man,
gotta say, Peggy was the one who started it, and then tells we gotta.
because he's back. He knows. He understands what we're
I
trying
don't
to
even
say here.
understand. You want to, in the end, I
He
said
turned on you.
I agreed that he's a talented artist. I just said he's not a goat, and somehow,
Man.
even though Peggy started by saying Drake killed hip hop, I'm somehow the one that needs to be muted.
That
I love
is
y'all.
that
The
is
comments are always hilarious.
Can you
Oh my
explain that
god,
here?
y'all are so funny.
great. I'm gonna look.
Look, I'm synonymous. It's like one of the best one-liners. Yeah.
Shoot. Hey, on that note,
Loki.
I was thinking my
No,
lead. I was gonna say,
no,
you know
we're
what's
not
not a
going-
goat? Loki.
oh, okay, all right. Wait, what?
What, Joe?
I am like I found the episode a little meh, only because we
Yeah,
called it.
you're not. I
Okay.
have to have a talk with you about
You
your
can't
man.
say
Well, let's
Loki
have
in general if you didn't like one episode.
I know. I was just scared. I was just
Oh,
scared
no,
people to get. I was grabbing ears. That's all I was doing.
Okay, all right, cool.
Dog, you
Let's talk about it.
chat.
I'm ready.
Ah.
I'm actually. I might have to like pseudo side with Dave for a second because
Wait, what?
Wait.
I'm
Look.
okay. No,
Look.
you know what? I won't start because every time you guys get mad at me when I start. So go.
Look,
you
look,
guys-
I'm gonna start. I'll
Go ahead.
calm down.
Go ahead.
I'll calm
You
down.
start from the beginning. Let's
Sure.
you know what? Let's
What-
talk about what you did like. I'd rather stay on the positive track first.
But wait, are we talking about the episode? Or are we talking about the
I'm
season?
talking about the
No, we're talking
episode.
about
I'm
the
talking about the
episode.
episode.
Running,
Okay,
let's
so
just
Okay.
brief
okay.
summary running in. Let's go. Bong.
All right, folks. We are gonna talk about, as you know,
Grizzy, where you at?
this is this is Loki Finale. The spoilers are abundant.
And I got notes on notes on
Y'all
notes.
got notes? I don't
and
got notes.
facts
I just got-
on facts
No
on
facts.
facts.
I don't even need notes for what displeased me with this whole thing. But anyways, let's
What are we talking about negativity here? What is going on?
What? They did the shit you didn't
Yo,
even ask for.
This split going on right now today for some reason actually means something right now.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh
understand
my
what's
God.
happening. This is an
Okay.
alternate reality.
dude, again, you guys don't want me to explain it first because you always get upset when I explain it first.
No, sorry, we keep interrupting Dave. Dave,
Go ahead,
sorry,
Dave.
go ahead.
Go. Oh man, do I recap the whole episode right away?
Just
Oh,
No,
wait.
you don't have to recap the whole episode. Just talk about like
A little brief.
what happened and
Look,
do we
all it
want
is
to
is
say the big spoiler?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so the big spoiler for everyone who is watching this, we're gonna spoil it now.
Yeah.
We saw a version of Kang,
Exactly.
which
y'all-
is
okay. Yeah.
I said a
It's true.
version. I'm not saying
The version of it.
It is,
It's the
it is,
same
it
actor.
is.
It's obviously a
It's
version.
actually-
It's a version.
Skitty,
of it.
how are you disagreeing?
Yeah, like,
Hold on,
how
hold
is
on,
it
hold
agree with it, but
If
just
you-
by
if
the way
that's the
you
thing
phrase
that-
it means
if that's not the thing you like, then I have no idea what you liked about this episode.
No,
So,
hold
on.
That's not it. That's not it.
We saw a version of Kang, not necessarily Kang, but it looks like it's a mixture of Nathaniel Reed and Immortus.
Yes.
Based on the costume.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
That's
okay,
Immortus's
sorry.
costume. And then the whole
Sorry.
31st
Okay.
century speech and everything, that's a Nathaniel Reed thing. So I think what
Okay,
I've noticed with Marvel in the cinematic universe, especially with Sylvie and stuff like that as an example, is that they're mixing two versions of a character and
Sure.
making them one to make the story make sense.
Mhm.
Right?
Okay.
Okay. And go.
Sorry, yeah. So I should have
Yeah.
said Nathaniel. You're right.
So,
that is
so
correct.
they meet the ultimate he who how do they call it? He who shall not
He who remains.
he who remains. That's what it is. Who's like the creator of time until that exact moment at their desk where he's like, "Oh, I made time up until this point."
Not create. He's the monitor of time.
Monitor. Yeah, but he's saying no, but he's saying he weaved everything to existence to this
no.
point.
No, he didn't weave exist. What he explained was he
Paved it.
paved this
Paved it.
specific like path for time because
This.
everything was
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
chaotic.
because
and-
he lived multiple lives to be able to pave the way to make this the specific timeline.
yes.
But to be like, oh, I did just into this point, I'm like, get out of here. First of all, that was just whatever.
That's
Why-
what ticked you? Okay.
Why wasn't that
No.
believable?
What annoyed me, to be quite
Okay.
honest,
Yeah.
was the fact that we did. It's not that it annoyed me. It's just that we deciphered the whole episode. So for me, nothing happened.
Of course.
Like,
Yeah.
I
I
wasn't.
wasn't ex-
It
I
happened,
wasn't-
but to me, it already happened because we're like
We talked
so
about
spot
it.
on,
Yeah.
and
For
it's
sure.
not necessarily being the hardest thing to crack. There
No,
wasn't
for sure.
a lot
That's
of
what
curves
I'm
in
excited.
this episode.
But what I actually liked was the fact that it wasn't Kang and that it was a version of potentially Kang.
Yeah.
And
But
the
we
whole
even said that.
he said what? He said,
Steven
I
said
have
last
been
week.
called. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I also brought it up before
He
that.
thought it was going to be.
Immortus.
Immortus.
Yeah.
Which is why
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was
Immortus,
excited
so,
because
like-
they actually pulled the trigger
Yeah.
and brought the actor in for a
Yeah.
TV show.
Yeah,
And for a throwaway role, knowing he's gonna come
Yeah.
back.
They did
Yeah.
that. They made him act.
those
for
are great.
that, bro.
And he did an amazing job.
Killed it.
I'm not saying he didn't. I'm not saying he
Yeah.
didn't.
Okay.
But I guess also part of me was this like I also
He's
didn't
trying to
think
figure
the
out what
episode
was
was
wrong,
going to
man.
be 2 seasons, and like for me, I was looking for something more like a I don't know, like the end where he just goes to a what seems to be in one of he either went back to the time keeper, well, sorry, the TVA, or he went to another version of the TVA because
It's
the fact
another
that
version.
Yeah,
because the fact that what's his name didn't know him, I was like, I'm like.
yeah, he didn't. Even,
like,
he's like, you an analyst? And I
Yeah,
was,
exactly. So I was there. I'm like,
So he's in another timeline, the timeline possibly run by the evil Kang,
yeah,
right? Because we saw his statue and actual face and costume this time around.
yeah,
And just a little history on like Immortus too. It's like in the past, Immortus was actually Kang in the comic books.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then the Timekeepers were the last being at one point, right? They went back in the Timekeepers were real in the comic books. Obviously, in the TV show, they didn't make them real. But they went back in time, met Kang, and told him if he stopped conquering and protected the timeline, then they would grant him immortality. That's why he accepts and then changes his name to Immortus.
Mhm.
So I think again they're taking that sort of storyline. So whatever you know about it isn't what it is anymore,
Mhm.
right? They're making it its own run now. Evident.
But based off the ending of this, could we say that this is maybe something not necessary? Like it affects the Marvel U, but like Loki's not really in the Marvel U right now.
No.
No.
Like, do you think
This
this
is the
Loki
thing.
will
This is-
ever interact with anyone?
This
Nah.
just cracked the blew everything wide open, bro.
yeah.
I have a point to make that you guys will kind of love when you realize it. If you notice, Loki's always the one to bring on the big bad guy.
Of course. Another version of Loki did it this time around,
That's
but
very
yes.
good.
Like last
that's
time
very
he brought Loki fucked up, brings on Thanos.
Yep.
This time he fucks up, brings on Kang. And
Yep.
what I love, which I don't see how you were meant on this. The girl stabs him, and the nigga says, "I'll see you soon." Chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
done. I was
Come on.
done.
Again, yo,
Man said, "I'll see you soon." Beat.
all that
Come
stuff,
on.
yo, all that stuff with
I even
Sylvie.
guessed that he was going to say that.
Yeah, me too. I was just like, what, like,
Like
Okay.
that's
I
my
knew
only-
when she said
to reiterate why the episode's
I'll
okay,
be back,
but it's
or,
meh.
Guys,
See, you
predicting.
guys
Okay,
take
there's this.
predictability. Yeah, you guys take predictability different.
That's what I'm saying.
Where he said
kind of
what
boring.
you were afraid of, and he answered me. You can ask Danny. I said me, and then when he said it, I cheered. Like I was just like, yeah.
That's
like,
wicked. I thought that was the whole point of us trying to predict this stuff.
Exactly,
Otherwise,
yeah,
we might as well not talk about it beforehand.
No.
So we're still
I
surprised
preferred
later.
some of our other
No.
predictions. That's why, personally.
That never came true. But the one time it comes true, you don't like it.
No. We
mind.
had option A, B, C, and they chose C.
Oh.
I wanted A.
Yeah,
Like,
but
you know
check
what I
this
mean?
out. You know how mad y'all would have been if it was just another Loki.
Right?
right? Agreed. Yes.
So like, we're
Yo,
I'm actually glad
Hey,
it
I didn't
wasn't
say what I
Kang.
didn't like
and
yet.
a mix.
So
yeah. I
you
want
guys
to hear
are-
you. I want to hear you.
You guys are
Okay,
talking about
before we
the
talk
fact-
about what you didn't like, 'cause
Yeah,
we
exactly.
know that's gonna
No,
take
yeah.
like 40
No.
minutes of this.
No. Mine is super simple. Mine is very simple
What
as
I,
to what I.
what I
Okay.
did like,
Yeah, okay.
what
go
I
ahead,
did
sorry.
like was the two nods. The nod to obviously, it's called the next Doctor Strange movie.
Multiverse.
Yeah,
When
Loki-
you see everything breaking
Loki's
apart,
gonna
I'm
be
like,
in
that's
that.
obviously going to be there.
Multiverse of
So I
Madness.
was
Yeah.
really liking that, and like, yeah, and overall, I do like that it is confirmed. Like this is like is an appropriate. It is a interesting way to bring Kang into everything. I just like again like for me I've never said the episode wasn't good. I'm just saying for me it was meh because it was not as shocking for me. Like, you know what I mean? But that's curse.
I wasn't looking to be shocked anymore,
podcast
though.
and comics.
I was shocked that they did that.
I was looking for whatever we said to be confirmed, and also the fact that it was confirmed, and now I'm like, oh, okay. Everything else that's coming along makes sense now. Everything makes even more sense. First of all, multiverse is open. Spider-Man is obviously going to be involved now, right off the bat. We already know.
Yeah.
Loki is going to be in Doctor Strange because it's the same writer that wrote Loki that's writing Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Obviously, 8-9 years from now, Secret Wars.
Yeah, boy.
Can we agree on that?
Yeah,
100%.
boy.
It's going to be the Battle World.
Said they would
The
come
Battle
back
World
for it.
storyline
What
too.
was your thing for that? What was your hint towards that? I missed that.
Because the multiversal war is a secret war.
Yeah.
Oh,
Except
okay.
for this time, it's going to be with the Marvel heroes from different universes.
Yeah, and like America Chavez and Doctor Strange makes sense now,
Yes.
right?
Punches holes into alternate universes. Yeah.
Lady Thor makes sense now.
Yep.
Right? The next phase of films is going to be focused on alternate timelines rather than the continuity of the MCU as we know.
Love it.
In space, at least.
Yes.
Guys,
I guess. I don't
Like-
know. Even.
So you're saying that Thor: Love and Thunder, you think that's going to be alternate reality? It's not
because
gonna be
Thor
anything
is in
reality?
it, and another version of Thor is in it as well.
Oh, okay.
Tell me how it doesn't make that makes the most
I mean,
sense.
that's a good theory. I'm not mad at that theory.
You're saying that when he meets Jane, she'll already have the
Yes, the
mutant-
multiverse is open, guys.
Oh.
Everything that happens from now on is in either a different
So-
version or this. It's all going to be different versions, pretty much.
Well,
Not the
you're
MCU as
saying
we
that-
know it.
Because I thought Love and Thunder was going to be more like when Thor no longer has Mjolnir and she picks it up.
You might
That's
get
what I
that.
thought it was going to.
That's what you think.
Maybe
Might
we
get
don't
But
know.
what? But what makes
That's an
more
interesting
sense
theory.
is the fact that it's a different timeline and a different version of characters. Spider-Man, we're gonna have different villains from different timelines in that. Like everything makes sense now, guys.
Yes.
Wasn't
Just
the
why-
villain for Thor 3 the guy who would go around and killing different Thors or killing different gods?
The God Killer.
Yeah, God killer. Gods. Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know. I'm not sure. I'm not mad at anything you guys just said.
I'm excited. That made me more excited.
I think this is going to be awesome. I just had a problem with specific things in this episode.
Okay, let's hear it. Actually, before we hear it,
I'll start with the positive.
before we hear it,
Yeah.
because you guys brought it up last week, and when it happened, I laughed my ass off because I was like, they're gonna feel like they called it. But when you guys saw Miss Minute's entrance when they walked in, did you think she was a big baddie for like
I
a
didn't
split
think she was a
second?
big baddie, but when she was there, I was just like, oh man, like I was just like, obviously she knows everything and has been just keeping an eye on people to make sure they never get too far. And I was just like, that's so annoying that this
Miss Minutes.
like I get not annoying to me, but annoying to the characters. Because if I was if I was Loki and this is the little stupid thing that was trying to train me, and I tried to smack it when it was on the table, and then this thing turns out to be connected to the all powerful what's his name? He
who remains.
He who reigns. I would be annoyed. I'd be like, "This is who motherfucker. You had her working for you the whole time."
Like
The
I could have
whole
gotten my
time?
answers on day one.
Yo,
She wouldn't
I
give
just
him
thought
them
of-
to you.
I know she wouldn't, but it's just annoying to think that she knew everything, and you're just sitting there talking to her. Yeah, Skinny's holding up a Kang action figure for those of you listening to this.
Yeah. Quickly,
So-
one division. Not at the end of it where she hears Billy and Tommy.
Yeah.
What if this was the exact like the when the TVA was changed was the same moment she heard her kids in the shack in the woods.
There you go.
That could make sense.
So that's the time because they changed the ending of one division to look more closely to the scene that they have in Doctor Strange in the movie.
Yep.
Oh, with the trees and stuff.
Yeah, like the scenery
but
and stuff
you
like
guys
that.
see why they did that? They actually explained that. It's a reflection. Yeah, it's actually just ended up being a reflection in the shot that someone had missed when they were editing.
No, I'm talking about the scenery changed.
Yes,
They did not
redid
just
the scenery because they at the time when they did it the first time, they left in a reflective image of something.
Oh, okay.
So they put that over it and just re-released the episode.
And the reflective image looked like Doctor Strange coming down.
Yes, because it was just that box with. You can look it up. The people have because I watched all those videos and I was just like, oh, and then there was like a whole bunch of people upset that IGN had reposted the video because they're just like, this has already been debunked, you loser. It's like it was like a whole thing.
I was just talking about I didn't even know about this reflection thing you're talking about, but
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I thought the beginning of the episode was interesting. I thought the kind of like the Loki leaving room for Sylvie to have a breath and to be like, this means a lot to me. This is like really interesting. And I was just like, okay, cool. I think the thing that bothered me was the through line of the episode being, again, that love conquers all for Loki. Like that's something that I was just like, and ultimately he fell in love and is happy, but at the end she doesn't love. He loves her more and is willing to do things than she loves him because she doesn't love him enough to give it a chance.
Here's why.
For 1 minute, not even for her not to do it. He asked for 1 minute and she still attacked him.
Bro, like a minute is a long time when you've been at something for an eternity.
Yeah, but you can wait the 1 minute. If I've been at something for a million years,
not if you've been through the ringer like Sylvie has. Dude.
Nah, dude, that's lame. I'm sorry.
How is it lame?
That's lame. I'm sorry.
She spent her whole life running away from this same guy and his people.
Right, and now
she knew she wasn't going to change her mind. That's why she was there to begin with.
And now this guy is telling you it's bigger than you. I'm telling you it's bigger than you. You can think I'm a liar, but at least listen to what I'm saying. And if you don't believe me, take a minute to think about it instead of immediately trying to murder me.
Nah, this sounds like you're putting it on the same plane as what's his name?
A logical person?
No, as Star-Lord, and it's not a Star-Lord situation.
No, dude, I'm not talking about Star-Lord. He's a
dumbass. This to me makes more sense why she did it. Than anything else.
Make sense to me.
Why?
You're telling me. I'm not even talking about her wanting to kill him. That's fine. I'm saying the 1 minute. I'm saying give it a beat. I'm saying give it a second for the man that you think you might be falling in love with.
She never said, okay, here's the thing though.
Okay.
Loki fell.
Bomb. And
Loki simped.
And that's why I think it's lame because Loki simping is a dumb fucking move.
Why?
Because Loki has spent this entire universe, as we've known him, being in love with himself. And now, when he needs to protect the entire universe,
he falls even harder for himself.
He thinks for a fact, he thinks this might be the end all be all. This could potentially be the end of the universe. And he pauses because he's in love with himself. Get the fuck out of here.
What?
This is the potential end of the fucking universe. And you're going to go, I love you so much. I just want to make sure you're okay. Calm the fuck down, Wonder Woman. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Wow. So what did you expect Loki to do to Sylvie here?
I expected her to just beat him like in a physical fight, not a loving kiss before she pushes him through. Shit made me.
But why go through all that effort when you can fake something and?
Because that's the point.
Be more cunning.
He's simp enough to fall for that. She was already on that side. She could have grabbed it on the table. There's a lot of other ways you could have set it up where he's not.
He fell for it. He fell for it because she sold it. She sold that she was into him.
She was already in love with. He was already in love with her. It's not that
but she never reciprocated this whole time.
Right?
So that was the perfect. She took the opportunity.
I'm talking about him being a loser who, at the last minute, when the universe is at the end and the threat of all things falling apart.
Bro, come on! You're gonna tell me you don't fall? You're not super in love with someone?
I might have to side. I might have to side with Brian on this one.
Okay, you know what, Dave? I'm gonna make it personal.
Hold on.
I'm gonna make it personal. Hold on a
second. I'll flip the question on you real quick. You love someone enough to sacrifice the entire existence of the universe?
I love someone enough not to want to murder them or do something other than try to talk to them or talk them out of it.
No, there's other options. He was able to push a whole table across. He was able to throw things at her, pull the damn time thing away from her. It's as simple as that. You're telling me you
expect him to have the presence of mind to grab that first in that moment?
He's Loki. It's his job to steal things.
But that's the whole point, guys. It goes to show you. It goes to show you Loki has weaknesses.
He's mischievous.
But this is a weakness. This is a weakness.
Even having weaknesses.
But this is a weakness even he was not expecting. Even he didn't know he had.
I'm not mad at him
before
having weaknesses.
From the first episode, that Loki we met that had to grow up real fast didn't even know any of this was possible.
Not mad at him having weaknesses. At no point did I say I'm mad at him having weaknesses. I'm mad at him being stupid. I'm not putting these moments with this person ahead of the entire multiverse. You should have written that better. You had to write that better. You can't tell me the reason right now that this is happening is because Loki was in love. That's
but he also said but Loki also said in that same episode, in that same scene that it's okay if that's what she wants to do anyway, but let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Even if they talk about it, it wouldn't have gotten him anywhere because she is so hell bent on murder.
Right. And I want the writers to write something better than, in the end, my love for her when I jump in front of her blade and we kiss and I let my guard down is what leads to the end of the universe.
What else?
She couldn't have been down about to cry and realized how stupid he was. That was the only moment in the show that I was just like, serves you right, dummy.
Damn,
because that was stupid.
Wow.
That was weird.
Oh no, I just saw like love conquers all.
High five.
Yeah, I don't know. Y'all never been simped before. That's what this is. I know.
No. I mean, again, at the end of the day, we've all
I've loved before, but like, yo,
all right. So you're telling me,
if we don't do this, we both die anyways.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't know if you both die. The nigga just said take control of this whole thing, and y'all can rule this whole shit together, bro.
Right.
So when you saying die,
so he wants to.
So she wants to kill. Like, you know?
But he doesn't. Okay.
So you love the girl. You're gonna put in your all to try and kill the girl over the universe that you know that you can just control. No,
I'm not saying kill her. She said kill me.
You don't have to kill her. You could stop. You have to say stop.
You can stop her.
You could stop her.
I'm saying again.
What do you mean? She's been captured before. Get out of here.
You've been giving googly eyes to this girl all week.
Guys,
you want to jump her bones so bad. The girl's just looking at you and she kisses you.
But it's so real. That is the realest. That is the realest way for anyone. Us to that is real.
Mm-hmm.
What is real?
The fact that he fell for that.
Yeah. He fell for what?
For her love. For the moment that she finally gave to him that he almost had at the pond or whatever lake.
He feels the same way.
And in that moment of human weakness.
He's not human. What are you talking about?
Loki's not a god either.
Yeah, he has feelings, bro.
Yeah.
He's a frost giant.
He has feelings.
He has feelings.
Frost giants can have feelings. What does that have to do with the universe is about to end? I feel like you are not understanding.
Okay. I feel like you guys aren't understanding.
The universe is going to be destroyed. This is not like you guys are playing this minuscule. When homeboy reaches across the table when she's complaining and he says it's not personal, it's practical, and she starts going off, and he's just like, and like essentially, shut the fuck up, you fake. You're a hypocrite. You're a murderer. Why are you fucking playing like you gave a shit? This isn't personal. You're just on a weird vendetta and you want to kill somebody. Fine, kill me. I don't fucking care. I'm telling you, if you kill me, it's so much worse what happens next. You don't want to understand that because it's that personal for you. You're that stupid. Cool. Loki, again. You're not that stupid. How about you step up? No, you're in love and you're gonna let her kiss you. Did you see his face in the background? Like, this nigga, that's what his face was. His face was.
I have to go back and look at that.
Nigga. Like, I watched that scene, and all I could think was, this is why the universe is going to end.
Yeah, we need that meme.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, you have to understand that someone can be that hell-bent on murder, revenge, to the point where they're blinded from the actual 100%. But this Loki is not the same Loki we saw in episode 1.
Oh God!
Right? Why are you so against? Why are you so? I'm confused as to why you're so against
that. For like a week, bro. Like,
actually, it could be longer than that.
Yeah,
it would be longer. But how they depict time?
He's known her for 10 years. I'm not risking the fucking universe for her.
But wait. You're not, but he's Loki. He likes chaos anyways.
He wants
to cares about the universe. What does he care about the universe? Where
he does want to have the universe. He does. That's the whole point. The same character you guys are describing, the same person who evolved and grew better and grew to care about the things in the universe, is the same person who should care enough about the universe to not make the mistake that one person is worth risking the entire universe. You just explained his arc as he grew, because I was the one last week saying, I'm not sure that this character could be redeemed that quickly. You guys made the point that he could. And now at the end, when that redemption could have been something he used, instead he gives it up for what? One person in one moment at the end?
Wait,
insane.
How did you want him to use? How did you want him to use the redemption?
The redemption is love.
Murder somebody after he's just changed and doesn't want to kill anymore?
You guys are stuck on the fact that the only option is for someone to die. I'm saying they could have. First of all, we're not changing the story. We know we have to go into the multiverse. I'm saying they could have done a better job at giving him a reason to let that happen, as opposed to love conquers all. That to me is lame.
But nothing else. But think about it. The way things have gone out, the way things have happened, the
Toby,
way that they got to.
I'm not going to try and give you a better answer. I'm saying the answer they came up with isn't the best answer. You have to tell me you could find something other than love. You have to tell me you have to be better than Wonder Woman 1. Because right
this
now,
was far better. What is this?
You're on par with Wonder Woman 1 and Steve. My love for Steve gave me the power to do the things I couldn't do before.
No, you can't do that.
Literally just got caught. Like, he literally, that's all. Like, we're looking at this completely different ways. I'm fighting a girl that I potentially am in love with, and I kind of, you know, and then she gets to jump on me.
Potentially, no, actually in love. Potentially in love.
Wait, hold on.
You're gonna list the world on potentially?
Yeah, bro.
And even if you do love her, if I love her, I'm going to make sure the world doesn't get destroyed because she's in it too. These are all the reasons why love being the genesis of this decision is illogical. He wants to hit her, so he doesn't stop her from letting the world end.
You don't want to stop her too hard.
You're saying potentially. If you love someone, I could see the blurred lines, but you're telling me, oh, I potentially like this person enough?
Well, okay, in Loki's case, I'm just saying love or
use
universe.
The words, you used your instinctual words about the scenario.
Love or universe, I'm picking love. Well, so
right.
And even in that situation, Loki didn't pick no damn love. The girl took advantage of his feelings, kissed the nigga, and put him through a portal. What are you talking about?
Yep.
Like, what are you fucking talking about?
He fell. He took advantage of what though?
She took advantage of the fact that he's.
Thank you. I like how you tried to say it's not love, but she took advantage of. Let's hear it.
The fact that he probably wants to kiss with the girl.
That's not it.
That's 100% it.
What did she take advantage of? What was the weakness that they decided to write into the story that would lead to the end of the universe?
Loki thinking with his dick, essentially.
There you go. And that's
but how else do you trick?
How else trick a god of chaos who's all about lust and sex and all sorts of shit? He's a
by
trickster.
Using his weakness against him, right?
Yeah. Oh, are you guys trying to understand why I don't think I get why Sylvie did it? I'm saying it's poorly written. Sylvie taking advantage of an idiot is fine. Sylvie's still planning to kill. You're not. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Sylvie's not wrong. Loki's wrong. Loki's not right. An idiot.
No, Loki's not wrong. Loki's writers are wrong. Loki at that time was just thinking like a man and not like a demigod, whatever the fuck. Ugh. Just to show that all men have weaknesses, the same weakness.
All demigods have weaknesses because Wonder Woman, also a demigod, also had weakness.
If Thor can fall for Jane, a boring ass nurse doctor girl, Loki can definitely get by his own self.
Can we find out what did falling for Jane cause? Because last I checked, it didn't end the universe.
Oh my god.
God.
I don't remember the end of times being announced. I don't remember seeing the multiverse expanding and splitting and the potential of the worst versions of Nathaniel coming out. I'm warning you right now, as I sit at this table, killing me will lead to the worst versions of me, infinite versions of me coming back.
Brian, you have to understand that they've been setting this up.
Oh yeah,
the whole season.
Oh, the whole season. They've been
setting up the fact that Loki gets carried away.
Yes.
No, not that in love. Okay, remember on the train.
They were building it.
Remember? No, I'm not gonna let you talk. I want to finish because I know where you're headed with this. On the train. Remember when they had the mission on the train to get off the planet, and Loki just got caught up in the whole hedonistic thing, right? Yeah. And Sophie said, "I am hedonistic. I assure you, a lot more than you, but I will never put it ahead or at the expense of the mission." Yeah. So no matter what, she was always gonna find a way to complete the mission. And she already saw that Loki has weaknesses.
Again, I feel like you're not listening.
I am listening to you, but you're blaming the writers for using something that they set up from the beginning.
You keep talking about Sylvie. I'm talking about Loki.
So
Everything Sylvie. No, you're talking about Sylvie. You just gave me an example about Sylvie.
How are you pointing out Loki not being able to stay on mission?
Yeah. He's not able to stay on mission, but now that he's grown, something you guys kept hammering in, he still can't stay on mission. And
he is grown in the sense of not being the villainous character that he is.
Oh, yeah, so he ain't perfect.
He is still learning.
Yeah.
So he's not smart enough to know the universe might
Obviously not, but why do we have a problem with the way it went down?
I have a problem with the way it went down because the character is being depicted as stupid.
I think the whole reason why he pulled his sword on her is because he knew the universe might end. He wouldn't have even gotten into that fight with her if he knew the universe wouldn't have ended. But they had to end it some way in which he doesn't die.
But
otherwise, the only way that's ending is Sylvie stabbing Loki and going.
He's not gonna kill her.
There's no other options. There's no other.
He's not gonna kill her,
bro. There was more than one option.
You write it. Tell me the option right now, Bong. Let's go. Give me the option.
Brian said one earlier that he steals the machine and makes purple to a goddamn thing.
Dave,
you're gonna trust Immortus to pull you back into the timeline together so you can beat Thanos and give you the Infinity Gauntlet and let you live out your life.
Did you guys actually want me to answer the question, or did you guys want to keep making the bullshit excuses for why I have the proper answer and you guys can't ready to hear it? Because you asked me, and then as I'm about to explain to you that they could have literally flipped the script and he could have pushed her through, or Immortus or Homeboy could have actually realized I might actually need to get involved because this is at the risk of the entire multiverse, or any multitude of options could have come into play in which they push someone through. But again, I know the writers have to get to the point where she kills him. So I know Loki has to fuck up, but Loki fucking up for love is what bothers me.
So you're just mad at how he fucked up?
Yes, that's what I've been saying.
That is what he's been saying, but
I know that, but also like,
oh man,
I've been saying this dumb, but this dude is in love, and that's gonna lead to the fucking end of the universe. Come on. Come on, you gotta give me something better than love being.
I don't know. Your standards are way too high on this one.
Super high. I don't know.
Standards
are way too high on this one.
On this podcast before, and I'll say it every time. When it comes to superhero shows, my standards are those of any other show, if not more, because I'm tired of our superhero shows being seen as a joke. People are complaining because The Mandalorian got Emmy nods. Fuck you, it deserves Emmy nods. They do good work. Loki deserves Emmy nods. They wrote a solid fucking show. Falcon and Winter Soldier, they might not deserve Emmy nods, but they did some good work.
They have an Emmy nod.
Yeah.
They have 5.
Exactly.
Yeah, and one for a brief-ass guest appearance.
98 seconds. Crazy. Doesn't even make sense, but that's a whole other conversation. That's a whole...
He killed it for what he did.
You don't give Isaiah a nod for the emotional turmoil he depicted as a soldier who had been put in prison, but you gave it to Don Cheadle for 98 seconds. That's rude. But anyways, all this to say, when it came down to when it comes to these specific moments, I don't think love should be the crux of how these moments get moved forward. That to me seems like an odd thing for science fiction, because then you're always going to have to use love. Love is not like Steve Rogers ending his story because he loves Peggy so much that he goes back in time. Wonder Woman loving so much, and that's why she gets her power. You know, Natasha weirdly loving Clinton, the world, and being like, I love everyone so much, and I've cleared this will clear my ledger. I can go in peace now. Like all these love moments, it's just like, okay, I'm okay with 1 or 2, but don't make it the crux for everything.
I think it's Disney.
It's also like it's also
that's taking the formula too far.
There's no formula though.
They're
It is a
oh,
formula.
they have
It's literally love.
oh,
They
you
all
want to
story
talk about
trope.
use
How are you
of
calling
use of
love a
Let's talk about
formula?
Black Widow.
Love
talk
is the
improper
trope.
use
What are you
of
talking about?
freaking-
But isn't that something we all can relate to on some level? Like, if there's anything we can all
Is it the
relate to,
only
it's
emotion you can
love
relate
and
to?
hate.
I mean, I don't really want to.
Is it the only emotion you can relate to? Is love
One of the only
reason you feel
positive
anything?
emotions, yes.
We're
It's
trying to
the
teach
only
that in the world.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I think loving thy neighbor is important. I'm not saying falling in love. Those are two different types of love. They're trying to make it that being in love is the lesson that
I mean,
every
Natasha's made sense. Someone had to go in Clinton as
Sure,
a family.
and what
She
did I
can't
just
have
say?
kids.
You can sprinkle them in. That's what I said. You can
Oh.
sprinkle them in, but don't make it the only thing you use all the time. You remember last week when I made
But
the
it's
joke
so
that
good.
time travel
It's-
is the cheat code because you could just no love is these motherfuckers use love more than anything.
I don't know.
The Grinch stole.
I you know what?
You know
I
what
hear
it is?
you.
Yeah.
I hear you. We talked about it for this long. I don't agree. I probably will never will,
never thought
especially
you
on
would.
this.
Reginald.
That's
But
I never thought you would.
I know going back on this, Brian, when we're like, oh man, remember when like Immortus, they broke the multiverse, all this? You're never gonna be like, man, yeah, but remember when Loki fell for that kiss? Never gonna say that. You're never saying that. Ever.
Oh no,
You're gonna forget about this within like.
I'm not gonna forget because I'm. Didn't I just name a whole bunch of other examples of love
Yeah,
being
but-
lame? I don't forget stupid decisions.
Oh,
I just live in the fact that they're there, and this is as good as I'm gonna get. This is it. This is as good as I get.
All right. I need to find
These
this Loki
writers,
meme.
these writers will just repeatedly use Star Trek, the new Star Trek show, where when you find out that what's her name from the alternate reality comes back, what's the thing that her love for humanity is what made her a better person, but almost got her ass killed. Y'all keep using it as the same crux after crux. Let's just slap it on the scripts. Let's just paint them all red and put fucking Cupid on them if we want to.
you just want a higher reason other than love.
I
That
want-
motivates people.
I want people to try more than just love and hate. There has to be more than the dichotomy. There has to be more than the dichotomy. You can't.
It
only
appears to
because
be
you hate
love, but it's
characters.
way more complex than that, though. In Loki, it's not just the fact he's in love with her; it's everything they've gone through. It's everything.
It's not the fact that it's the fact that he's in love with himself. I understand that. That's the nod.
Okay. That's the nod, but that's also like the joke at the same time. It's not necessarily the
And that's
thing
why
they were
that
going
ending
for.
was a joke.
Oh God! All right, let's move
Thanks
on.
for that layup. by
Let's
the way.
move on. Let's move on.
Oh, the kid dunk.
Let's move on. What's next on our docket here? Well, this one we're all gonna collectively agree wasn't good, so I'm okay with that.
What?
Black Widow.
I
Oh,
like
what the fuck? I liked it.
I like Black Widow.
I liked
It was it. Oh, nice, a different split.
I thought Black Widow was. I thought Black Widow was entertaining. It's a lot of action. It was. The beginning was great. The first act is like, wow, y'all are really writing this shit.
I thought it was a little off. That's how I wouldn't say it's bad. I thought there's certain things that were off. The direction of the movie to me was very jumbled. It's like we're trying to be the Bourne supremacy, and then all of a sudden we're doing a family movie. And I thought a lot of the comedy was a little off-timed.
I don't know if it's a family movie when the father says your ledgers must be dripping in blood. I'm so proud of you for being murdering assassins.
Yeah,
Not
Yeah, but
really
he said it
family
laughing in a Russian accent, so it's
Yeah.
funny.
It's-
It wasn't like I'm proud of you. It wasn't
They
like
had- They had a lot of odd
Sure,
family
legends.
moments. You know what I mean, though? Don't you
Huh?
agree? Don't you agree they had a lot of odd family moments? Like where they're like
unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah. For a group of assassins, obviously, any interaction of a family dynamic.
It was borderline Fast 9 family level.
Oh yes, I'll give you
but
that. There was a lot of times where I said not even Vin Diesel's Dom could use the word family more.
it was crazy. But the only reason I say that is a lot of the parts of the stories didn't make sense. First of all, Dreykov does shit in the sky, and that's why he's been staying off the radar. Tell me Shield, and none of these companies could have ever detected that.
And satellites,
Right.
just general.
The Taskmaster twist.
Which wasn't even really a twist. It's just
Does
a
that actually happen though? Like, who is
No.
Taskmaster in? Is he a
Taskmaster's a dude.
Anthony
It's
something.
Anthony Masters.
Anthony Masters. And the way and the daughter, it was waste.
That
Why
was
did
kinda
she?
weird.
Why did she have to be a taskmaster? If she survived, he could have turned her either way into a widow, right? Yeah. They are at the Red Room.
Well,
I don't know.
Taskmaster doesn't exist, so he just created someone.
It's like, only for them to use that mantle later.
Yeah.
All of this was an intro.
Yeah.
This entire movie was an intro.
It wasn't very. I'm not gonna lie. It was fine, but it wasn't like.
I liked it. I like the action. I like the fight.
I was about to say the action scenes were fucking amazing, especially like the fight in the air. I was like, that's one thing. When I saw it, I'm like, there's elements of this movie I really liked.
Yeah,
mainly being the action. But like I said, I thought it was a little jump. Like, you know how like Captain America was the spy movie, Thor is the magical. Like I found there wasn't really much of a identity here, which was a little.
Oh, I would say it's in line with the spy movies. You just said it's like the Bourne Identity. That's a spy.
But they were trying to do cracking jokes every 5 seconds. Like,
so they do the same thing in Winter Soldier.
I found they made a lot more.
Oh, there's more jokes.
Like I thought this was like,
but the
like
Falcon and Winter Soldier
jokes and you're like Ant-Man and the Wasp type of comedy.
Did you not find the Falcon and Winter Soldier had way too many jokes?
Oh, Falcon and Winter Soldier, the TV show.
I was comparing
the TV shows. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah,
you're talking about the Winter Soldier.
Wait, hold on. How do you talk about Black Widow and not talk about the Falcon and Winter Soldier when that's the same line of a universe?
Same line of a universe is not. It's not the same.
Yep.
I don't think they're on the same level of like spy. To be honest with you, Black Widow's. If we're gonna compare that, Black Widow's above it. So I don't even think.
Yeah, Black Widow is above it. Okay, but it's still based in the spy world of the Marvel universe.
Sure. Yeah.
The same way that like Thor is the Asgardian magic as.
Yeah, for sure. Which is why we had the tie-in to Falcon and Winter Soldier at the end of Black Widow.
I also wish they did a bit more. Like, although I agree with you about the first act was really good, I wanted more to see her actual growing up in the actual pains. Like it shot over with that like quick clip video, and then like, oh yeah, we split ways. You're like, well, that doesn't really explain to me how much crap you went through.
Also,
for Natasha, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was wrong. I thought her pain was done in 30 seconds. And you're like, okay. I didn't get that.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure I understood. You're talking about they didn't explain why her and Yelena fell out of touch?
No. I feel like what I'm trying to say is like her, like, because she always said like me becoming an Avenger changed my life and all this type of stuff. Yeah. And yes, they did that like clip at the beginning to show you like various things that she kind of went through a little bit at the ballet, what's the
Red
name
Room.
of the Red Room?
Red Room, yeah.
But I guess I would have wanted to see more of the strife that she like actually see what happened, because all you know is that it was really bad. You do know that she was operated on, but after that you're like,
also
I don't have the feeling of sorrow for her yet.
Neither do I. And Natasha somehow got out of
the fact that they're abusing women. Like I didn't need to see her. The whole Red Room is an abuse of women being kidnapped.
I think I get what he's saying though. He wanted to see more of her than like everyone else's problems. That way you feel more connected to it.
Yeah,
I think I kind of understand
origin story.
Because for her, she always had this like pain, and you're like, I want to be able to connect a bit more to it, I guess.
But after 20-something movies, you didn't feel connected to Black Widow enough for this story to connect.
No, for it being like an origin story.
But it's not an origin story. That's the point.
For her,
it's not an origin story.
It's not meant to be an origin story. It's not meant to be an origin story. But I think what Dave again.
But
what he's saying is it just wasn't enough to connect with Black Widow. First of all,
after 20-something movies,
she never got anything. The way they disposed of her in the end game says exactly. The way they disposed of her shows that nobody was connected to her in any way, even the writers. Like she barely got a good exit.
She sacrifices herself for the Soul Stone. I feel like show me someone else whose sacrifice is worth a Soul Stone. That's some interesting.
I'm not saying they didn't have great moments, but she was very sparsely used in those moments
because she's a spy.
Like you're telling me that she got as much airtime as, let's say, Captain America.
No,
even Hulk. Almost.
She has more airtime than Hulk
by a slim margin.
Hulk has a whole movie he's in.
She has a whole movie she's in. Winter Soldier.
Now she does. What?
Winter Soldier.
Winter
Oh,
Soldier.
are you counting the Universal film with Ed Norton?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No,
sure.
I mean you could include that, but like I was
sure,
talking about Ragnarok and whatnot.
That's what I
and
thought.
I agree, and I agree with you that she might have a bit more time, but considering
she
she's
does.
been in a plethora of more, like she's been in more movies than Hulk has, and she maybe outdoes him on screen time with 5 minutes.
Oh, hold on. What are you saying?
She's in Iron Man 2 the
So
whole way through.
Iron Man 2. What
Yes,
she does
guys.
in Iron Man 2, Civil War.
Guys,
and
guys,
Winter
she's
Soldier.
in there as a
Ed.
spy already, murdering people, and
Okay.
we're supposed to. There's no emotional connection to Black Widow. I don't know why we're arguing this.
No, but I'll say this:
like,
you're
you
not
don't know anything
supposed
other
to
than she kills
feel an emotional connection to a spy until you get to this movie where you're given the small pieces of who they were and why they're a spy. And if you don't feel the connection to them, that's fine. But how much more did you want?
But that's
You
what he
don't
was
need
saying.
it. But you
That's
don't
what I'm
need,
saying.
but you
I
don't need an origin story. We keep saying we don't want origin stories anymore.
Not an origin. It's fine. I think maybe Satan Origin set this off. He
Was
just wanted a little bit more on the emotional aspect.
Yeah, that's all. I just wanted to connect. I just wanted to see, I guess, more for actual straight. Her going through actual hard times instead of saying, "Yeah, this did happen to me," but you don't see it. Like
Also-
something horrible can happen
also-
to somebody, but if you don't see it, it's not the same effect.
Also, that red thing, the antidote was such a cop out.
What do you mean a cop out?
How did
to undo the
programming?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait,
Here's the
okay.
miss.
So the
What
super soldier serum is a cop out for people get. It's a chemical that gets.
In terms of getting deprogrammed, it just feels like here. Let me spray this, and it's over.
They're programmed with a chemical. They keep saying
Winter Soldier had to go through therapy and shit. She's just like, here's a little miss.
But he wasn't
this Gatorade.
Different programming and different.
Wait, hold on. Did you guys not hear the part where they talked about chemical programming and
yes, we heard the fact that there are pheromones in the air that stop someone from murdering someone else. Yes,
Okay.
we heard it.
Okay.
I'm just wondering because you guys are saying it doesn't make sense that a chemical is used to stop and counteract a chemical.
I said it was a cop out.
I said it
I didn't
exactly.
say it didn't make
Cop-out.
sense.
Being
Exactly.
It makes sense. You just don't like it.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. So wait, check this out. Check this out.
Yeah, like, you know,
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, as long as
every
every
comic book movie,
Yeah,
it
if-
technically makes
if-
sense to
if
their
we-
rules, right?
yeah,
So if we're gonna
if
say
we
that
can
logic,
acknowledge-
like no one can argue anything ever, all right? Why are we here?
we
Why
can
are we
acknowledge-
here?
if
You
we
know
can
what?
acknowledge cop-outs, if we can acknowledge cop outs, so be it. You guys just challenged me for half an hour about my.
I didn't know I was on your side.
No, I'm saying these two. These
I'm
guys
not
got mad
saying
at me for
anything.
saying something was a cop out. Now he's saying it's a cop out, and he doesn't see the. You see the difference?
Well, then you should understand my side in the previous one, and if there is no difference, right?
There you go.
No. But you're telling me it's a cop out.
Y'all
This
are
is
mad
not-
at
this is
writers
not-
using tropes in the same sense, essentially.
All right,
Different tropes for different folks, and y'all are just mad at it. That's what's happening here. Loki uses love. She uses chemicals.
The action is good.
Yeah, you should check it out.
Because BJ's question.
I know, I saw that.
What was the question?
His
You
question
want to know whether or not it's theater, home, or IMAX. It's still worth IMAX because the action is great.
Yeah.
I know I've been like shitting on it for a bit, but like I do like some parts of it.
Yeah, the action's fine.
The action's great. The pace was relatively great.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
You're naming a lot of the same reasons I liked it. I just you
It's just that some
you wanted
aspects I
more.
didn't like. Yeah.
I wanted more too.
That's fair. I mean,
And one thing I will say is I wish they would have released this after Civil War. I don't like
for sure.
release wise to wait for a year and a half extra because of COVID and all this stuff. I was like, man, you guys really like when I watched it, I'm like, this would have been really cool right after Civil War.
Yeah.
It would have been perfect, but no.
They couldn't have done
The
just
end
the
credit
end-credit
scene with
couldn't have done
Leonard.
that.
You
Yeah,
could've
but they would have
put
done
any
a
other-
different one.
you
Yeah,
could've
they
put
Which
would
I
have done
feel like they
other
just
SCP.
recently added that for real.
100%.
yes, me too.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did
yeah.
for sure. You could have put that. You should have put that as the second.
But also, how is she
after
going
credits
after?
of Winter Soldier?
Yeah. Okay, Dave, I'm with you on that one. You could have
Yes.
put that post-credit scene as a secondary post-credit scene on the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
Because
it
then
should
we
have
would have
been.
already because the movie would have already been out. We would have already seen Yelena. Yelena would have been the shocker.
And we
because
know
we
Black Widow's already dead at that point.
Yeah, because
So
we
her
would have
being
seen
a-
Val walking over to somebody and then it's like it's Yelena at the grave, and you're like, ah, cool, we get this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, why Clint?
Yeah, I don't know. That's
And also, how does she know?
Yeah.
Right?
It's
Because
the
this
Thunderbolts
all
stuff, man. They're just trying to build the Thunderbolts, U.S. Agent, Evil Black Widow, like
Evil Black Widow.
The next thing is to turn Ross into the Red Hulk.
They're not.
Oh God, I really hope they
do that.
Fine. No, I'm not mad at it. Fine. Throw Ross as the Red Hulk. Go crazy. You might as well.
Well, because they're gonna have to recast Ross at some point because the actor itself is getting older.
Is it William Hurt? Who's the actor? Is that the right actor, or am I off?
No, I don't think it's William Hurt.
I could double check that 1 second.
Recast. They don't have digital specs of him yet to just create one. Fuck. You can't just, You're telling me to. Yeah.
But you're talking about doing a Red Hulk that's just always Red Hulk.
Yeah. Well, no, you could say like he changes, and then when he comes back to normal, you look different. Yeah, I must have you could do something about
changes, come back. The whole Red Hulk thing was like a whole year-long arc, and you didn't know who Red Hulk was.
That was really good, actually.
I'm not trying to see
perfect.
Yeah.
But that would be
cool.
More perfect because then you have it recasted for the longest time, and then like 2 or 3 movies down the line, you give the new actor, and like that's it.
I would say even go further. Don't make it Ross.
Damn.
Change it. Because everyone, the nerds who think it's going to be Ross, who are like, oh, we know who it is, and then you get to the end and it's not who you think it is, it would be pretty epic.
For no reason, it's Amadeus Cho, and niggas would be
shit.
People be pissed.
Hey,
it is William Hurt.
You just hit threes from fucking deep. Imagine Amadeus Cho shows up.
I hate Amadeus Cho too, so that would piss me off. But yeah, if Amadeus Cho ended up being Red Hulk, I'd be like, what in the fuck?
It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter that it would be Red Hulk because they haven't shown any connection between Banner and Ross since the original movie.
Right. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
And Banner, as far as Ross knows, has been missing. Like, when was the last time he saw him? Because Banner was on
the movie.
Yeah, right.
And he was never in any of the Avengers or the Thors. So
shit.
The last time he wasn't Thunderbolt Ross at Tony's funeral.
Oh,
no. Yeah.
No.
Is he?
I'm pretty sure he was there.
Absolutely not.
All right. Okay, Google.
Okay, Google.
Was Thunderbolt Ross at Tony Stark's funeral?
I'm pretty sure he was. I think he was.
No. Why would
my phone's act shy?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe
Thunderbolt Ross at Tony Stark's
I'm rewatching that the second we're done this podcast.
I feel like there's someone did a picture and like numbered each person and had like a legend underneath. Yeah. So there should definitely be that online somewhere.
Winter Soldier. Ross instructed Iron Man to bring them into custody.
Good
Once
job.
the team regrouped and reversed Thanos' actions, Ross then attended Tony Stark's funeral.
Oh, bong. There you go.
I'm watching that. I want to find his ass.
Ross is at the funeral and Banner's at the funeral.
Yes.
Okay, so that's
straight up Hulk.
What, they're gonna have a fight at a funeral?
Hey, you!
No, but I think
fucking the Hulk.
I'm guessing what we're supposed to understand is this: at this point, Ross isn't going after Professor Hulk. He's not a mindless, danger. He's a Professor Hulk now. Because it's true, right? Hulk wasn't even hiding. Remember, at one point, he's eating breakfast and taking pictures with kids.
Wild kids, yeah.
Because he wants to take pictures. Like, oh, you want pictures with Ant-Man? No, you sure? No, he wants pictures with you.
Yeah, he was standing right next to Kobe Smulders' character and right behind the kid, the Tony.
Oh, from the 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quick flash, like at the beginning of when they're panning and you see him in the back.
Trying to fit everyone into a shot.
Damn. But yeah, Black Widow is worth watching. It's just I didn't
IMAX it up if
you do watch it by accident after it comes out, it's not the worst in the world.
There's actually no connection to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, really.
There isn't. No, that's actually a lie because the whole movie starts because she's on the run because of Civil War.
Yeah.
Again, why it should have been? Yeah. Why should have been released?
That's why I'm saying there's no connection because none of that matters anymore.
Yeah,
but that's what pisses me off though because I feel like Scarlett Johansson should have had the movie at that time. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, you're preaching to acquire the converted. I think everyone here thinks they fucked up the timeline here. They should have just put that movie out.
No, but not just that. You out of all the female movies you're gonna put out, why not put Black Widow out at that
They
time.
didn't have the movie, and the guy who was running shit before didn't believe in women. This is like known. Homeboy was just like, it's not gonna work.
I obviously didn't know.
Yeah, he said he canned it. He canned it right away.
Yeah, he's like, nah.
And then when they gave Feige the crown, he was just like, oh, finally, okay, let's make a Black Panther. He was just like, yo, all these people that we've been ignoring for all these years because you idiots think we need to only tell blonde, blue-eyed stories. Let's get the fuck out of here and start.
Man, old white man, eh?
Yeah.
God damn.
Dave, don't get old.
Wildin'. No, not you. I mean,
right?
old
Like,
one.
you know what I'm saying?
We gotta find the fountain of youth for Dave so he stays woke.
Right? Jeez, I feel like after you turn 66,
yeah.
wilding.
I just snap.
We're gonna have to start playing the podcast back for him to be like, hey man, remember where you were and who you hung out with. Did we Fear Street, Toby? There's only 2 of them out so far, right? The third one's just coming week.
Yeah, there's only 2 of them. It's actually surprisingly, it's good.
It's a trilogy.
It's a trilogy they've been releasing every Friday for the past 2 weeks, and the next one comes out this Friday.
That's pretty fucking cool to have a trilogy in one,
in 3 weeks.
3 weeks, you get a trilogy like that. Netflix is playing some interesting games right now.
It was surprising, and I think that this might be a format we see again. It's kind of like a take on the old slashers from like the 80s, 70s, like those kind of slasher movies, like the Nightmare on Elm Street, Jason kind of movies. But it's not scary.
Okay.
It does have the jumps.
Yeah.
But the story is what makes it good. It actually makes sense to me. The reason why things are happening makes sense. They really don't like mince any words before they get right into the action in both movies. It immediately gets into like things are happening. It's just on a fast pace consistently.
And from what I understand, they're decreasing the first movie was the most recent.
Was present day pretty much.
Okay,
and then during the first movie, you kind of understand the lore and when things started to happen. And the ending of the first movie, the characters kind of it continues into the second, but then they take you back in time to the previous people it happened to. And how that connects to those kids today. And now this one, also the third one will take you back to like the original, like how the main. I mean, it's not a secret. It's a witch. Like there's a witch behind all of it. And
but how the witch came
and
to
how
be.
she came to be and what exactly. So it's really really well done. Everything ties in together. They might have just filmed it all back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. This is the first like slasher parody that I've seen in years that actually is good.
The only reason I saw the trailer for it is because the kid from Stranger Things, the redhead one, is in the first one.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Okay. And that's because I was looking up Stranger Things stuff, and that's
the girl.
She's a redheaded girl.
She's in the second one.
She's in the second one. Oh, my bad.
In the second one, she plays Britta's character. Britta's in it.
Oh, crazy. Okay.
Gillian Jacobs. Yeah.
There we go.
Word.
Remember her name.
Really good. Honestly, I would. It's a fun watch if you have time. Honestly, just wait till Friday, and then you'll have 3 movies to watch back to back to back.
I'm not one for horror movies, but because it's, I know, Skinny, you and I are on the same page. I'm not one for, but my thing is, I think I'm not opposed to jump scare movies like slashers, because a slasher at the end of the day, it's so it's a predictable format.
It's a predictable format. The only thing that holds it together usually is how good your story is.
Yeah.
Right. But people are gonna die. Chances are the 10 people you meet at the beginning, only one might be left. There's always the final girl sometimes, right? Like but just the story and how it gets there and the twists and turns is usually what you're there for.
What's the one where they go into the movie? Like it's a girl.
Last Action Hero?
No.
They go into the movie. It's a horror movie.
It's a horror movie, and the whole time the guy is like a huge fan of the movie. The star of the movie.
Final Girl.
Is that what it is?
I think
the star of the movie, like the movie that they watch. The star is the mother of someone.
Final Girl.
Final Girl. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Skinny.
That's a good one too. Actually,
did you watch Final Girl, Skinny?
I watched
a slasher film, and that's a good one. And I would think it's a similar structure.
Yeah,
no, I did not watch that.
Precisely. It has like a lot of big names in it, like
Yeah.
Thomas Middleditch is in it,
Yeah.
Adam Devine, like Malin Ackerman.
Yeah.
A bunch of people are in that.
And that's the thing. Like, if you watch that movie and you were okay with the jump scares, you can watch this movie. Like these Fear Streets. Fear Streets are more serious though, because that one was kind of a commentary.
Yeah.
Like one of the guys in the movie was obsessed with the films, a la Scream, and
But-
kind of was just like, I know what's gonna happen. But anyway.
I think people are when it comes to like movies like this, you have to understand like movies like Nightmare on Elm Street made people afraid at the same time. That's different.
Yeah.
Jason wasn't as scary as Freddy was.
I don't even like saying that guy's name, bro. Like if it's 8 o'clock, I gotta sleep in a couple hours. I don't even like saying that.
Which guy?
Don't shut up.
Like Candyman. Candyman is one of those.
For you.
Skinny is gone. But like Candyman is one of those ones that was scary
Don't
and
say him either.
what
are you doing, man?
The next one's coming out, right?
Yeah. No, Nia Costa's the director. Jordan Peele produced, right?
Yeah.
With Black Mamba. Not Black Mamba.
I was like,
not Black Mamba. What's his name's dad? Aquaman's dad. Aqualad's dad. Sorry.
Yeah.
Black Manta.
Black Manta.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You could have said what's it called? Dr. Millennium, or
or just Black Manta.
Oh, Dr. Manhattan.
Sorry,
Yes.
Dr. Millennium.
But see, like we both keep messing because it's like I got to start saying it's true because I always forget his name. Oh, what was the Netflix show he was on that got canceled? The hip hop one with Jaden.
Oh shoot, hold on.
The dancing one.
Yeah.
Where he played
he's like a club owner or something.
I forget the name of it right now for some reason. Something about Don't Stop the Funk or something.
Don't Stop the Funk.
Lord no.
The Breaks?
The
Breaks was the good
the
one.
Get Down?
The Get Down. There you go.
Down.
The Breaks was the good one that got canceled too.
Okay, I gotta check that out. I saw Blindspotting. I've been watching Blindspotting the series. It's solid. Go check it out. There's not really much else. If you saw the movie and you like the movie, the show continues and is doing an excellent job. The acting is great. The character they replaced David Diggs with, the like dude on parole next door who's a little weird and is a pothead, fucking great. That guy is so good.
But the movie was about him.
The movie is about David Diggs and Raphael. I always forget Raphael's last name. But the sequel is about Raphael's girlfriend, because they're not married, and the kid, and having to move in to Raphael's mom's house because Raphael ends up in prison.
Oh, okay. Yeah, honestly, that movie was fucking unexpectedly dope.
Movie is amazing.
Ending, Jesus.
Yes. Big fucking like that ending was. And then they explain like a whole bunch of stuff as to like why David's not there, and it's like really, it's really good. It's really
he's
good.
filming Snowpiercer. That's why.
Yeah.
Did that get nominated? It must have gotten nominated. It's a really good show.
So. Yo, the Emmys didn't give anybody any. The Emmys was just like 20 nominations for you, 10 for you, 15 for you, and like
we're done.
Dude, there's one category that SNL has 4 out of the 5 nominations. Come on, man. How are you going to give
because there's one sketch shows for them to compete against? Actually, no, Black Girl Comedy Show.
They must have, because they remember they changed the beginning of the season to make sure they're in Emmy season.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
crazy. I don't know. I don't know if they got nods, man. Supposedly there's a lot of snubs. I didn't put the list because I figured we were going to end up talking about Loki and Black Widow long enough that I was like, I don't think we can talk about the Emmys. But
yeah, we're pretty much
yeah. If people want to check out the Emmy list, I'd say just look it up. There's a lot of interesting stuff. We did mention the Falcon and Winter Soldier guest starring Don Cheadle got a nod. A lot of people are finding it a little weird. I mean, as a fan of MCU, the fact that they even submitted him, because that's the thing, you submit, right? They don't just pick you. Like, don't you submit for these award shows? And someone submitted Don Cheadle for his 98 seconds worth of work on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Probably. That means they could have submitted someone else for. It's weird.
Yeah,
that's strange.
I found that a little strange.
Yeah. Actually, let's go through a couple of the lists real quick, though.
Sure.
I want to get your opinion on outstanding drama. The Boys is in the same category as Bridgerton, The Crown, The Mandalorian,
dude,
Lovecraft Country, This Is Us, and Handmaid's Tale.
There's a lot.
That doesn't make any sense.
There's a lot of things that I think should be in comedy and and vice versa in drama. Like there's shows that on the comedy list that I'm like, how is this comedy and this is us? Like there was something that I saw where like a comedy show.
Is it Flight Attendant about?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Dave. You hit it. Flight Attendant to me is not a comedy, but they listed it as one. It's HBO's.
That's Kuko, right?
Yeah, Kaylee Cuoco plays a flight attendant who gets mixed up in a like weird situation with a dead body. She's an alcoholic. Like a whole bunch of interesting things happen. But I watched some of that show because I was just like, this is interesting, but I didn't ultimately like it. But the fact that show got nominated with like comedies like Blackish and stuff, I'm like, the whole feel and tone of these shows are so different that I don't understand. It's like when people say, what's your favorite MCU film? I'm like, Guardians of the Galaxy and Winter Soldier are such different films. It's hard for me to just say, like, to put those on the list. I could tell you based on just like I like one more than the other, but they're very different styles of films, and these are very different styles of comedies. And I feel them being on the list together is a little weird.
Someone drank something, took something before putting these lists together.
But remember, these people submit these shows for the categories. That's the thing I still find weird. Like,
but who sifts through?
Yeah.
They're not filtering.
If that's the case, then
yeah. Someone should be sitting there being like, "Is this really a comedy? Like, can this count as a comedy?" Anyways, it's crazy. We had so much stuff we went over. That was a crazy episode, and we all got to kind of bounce. I think we're all exhausted from
talking about love.
Ain't no rumors this week. Not much happened.
The only thing I had was the 98 seconds on Cheeto.
There was also
what's your name got for WandaVision? The girl,
Agatha.
Agatha, thank you.
Catherine Hahn got a nom.
Yeah, like mad nom.
Catherine Hahn got a nom. Good for her. Yeah. She's a great actress. She deserves it.
What was that rumor I posted recently? I'm trying to remember. I can't remember it right now.
About Batman?
No.
Time travel?
Please, no. Shrek. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear the name Batman anymore.
Titan season 3.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, Titan season 3 trailer, solid.
Looks solid, but I'm not creaming for it like Dave is over here.
I don't get me started.
Dave all mouth watering over some shit that you've read and seen 900 times.
Red hooded up. I don't give a fuck.
You've seen Red Hood like 400 times and you're excited about this.
Hey.
But this is the first live action, right? This is the first live action Red Hood?
First live action Red Hood, but I don't know how they're going to do that in 13 episodes. What he's going to die, come back, and what they're going to jump. They're going to year jump.
Yeah, there's a time jump for sure. There has to be
300% a time jump. 4 years later.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
jumping this. Anyways.
Oh, you know what's fucked up? Nobody from The Boys or The Mandalorian was put as lead actor in the nomination.
Yeah.
Whereas Marvel
Giancarlo
in the nominations.
Yeah. Giancarlo and Carl, no? Weathers?
I think so.
Yeah.
These lists. Yeah, whatever.
Hey, man. Hey,
it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
I was trying to have a conversation with my buddy today, and I said, I don't think these award shows even, are they relevant? Like, let's be honest. End of the day, he made really valid points as to why they're more relevant than the music awards, but ultimately, I still don't think they're relevant.
They're only relevant. They're only relevant for your resume as an actor anyway, so you can get more high-paying jobs. That nothing to do with us as fans liking something.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. That's the perfect.
Yeah, but it's just that they're like it's like you have awards at work or whatever doing outstanding work and whatnot. This is their way of doing it, except for a large population want to know who wins what, so that's why they do it. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, the rumor was that Charlie Cox being in She-Hulk possibly is actually appearing in costume as Daredevil.
Yeah.
Which would be fucking fantastic.
I mean, considering the way they're going, I don't say no to nothing anymore.
And him being in No Way Home is still possibly a thing as well.
Dude,
but as a lawyer,
at this point, I expect to see this guy at some point do a cameo.
Luke Cage.
Dude, if you're gonna do a multiverse, you might as well do.
Okay, let me ask you this main thing before we bounce on whether if that's possible or not. Is his show currently on, canceled or not?
Wait, what?
Right. Oh, Evil? No, Evil's still on.
Evil's still on? Then I don't know.
Evil is streaming now, not on CBS regular.
Then there's a huge possibility.
There's a possibility, yeah.
But also multiverse just opened it up.
At that point, as much as I complained, the multiverse is open and there's so much potential for what they're gonna do next. So
Can
I didn't
make a funny
like the key, but I'm happy the door's open.
Yeah, this motherfucker. Look at you.
I don't want to backtrack on this, but I have to mention it. In the Emmy nominations for Variety Sketch Series, there's only 2 nominations.
There was only
so
really
it's a 50-50. Yeah, but that's hilarious. Then why is it a category?
Well, you're not going to get rid of the category. It's just it's not their fault the TV industry fell apart during the pandemic. What do you What am I supposed to do? We had the money to put the show on. You had the money to put the show on. I still deserve an award then.
Someone was recommending Werewolves Within for us to watch.
It. I can talk about it next week.
Okay.
It's worth the watch if you guys are
okay, so I'll probably watch it then.
Yeah, if you're looking for something funny, check it out. Guys, that's the whole kit and caboodle. It was wild. We're ending this episode at 2021, which is hilarious because it's 2021.
Yeah.
That's it. Anything else you guys want to say to the world? We love you. You're crazy.
Yeah, don't give up on love.
Yeah. Love conquers all.
Love conquers all.
And defeats some.
Even the end of the universe.
There you go.
Even that.
Oh.
Why, Dave? Why? Deuces.